Moral relativism is the ethical theory that there is no single or universal standard for right or wrong. It basically states that, you can, depending on who you ask, good or bad can mean anything depending on where they come from, where they've lived, what their religious beliefs are, what their culture is, whatever. And yeah. There can be more than one right position on a moral topic depending on who you ask. A good example of moral relativism is in the show The Walking Dead. There's a constant conflict between two characters named the Governor. That's what he goes by in the show, and his name is Philip Blake, and the other character is Rick Grimes. The characters are in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. So Rick Grimes more so focuses on the personal needs of his loved ones and their survival needs, and he's not, he's just not as aggressive as the Governor. The Governor, on the other hand, is very aggressive. He wants to protect and build a community during this time. So they tend to get into it a lot. I feel like The Walking Dead illustrates more relativism because none of those actions presented in the show, if you watch the show, are morally or universally correct. In a normal universe, killing and stealing are unexceptional, but I think unexceptional. Yeah, I think I said that right. But in their instances, they're having to take part in these actions to survive, and I feel like that creates a more complex and acceptable reason for them to be participating in these actions. So one of my favorite ethical principles is virtue ethics. Basically focuses on the teachings for Aristotle, and it states that moral excellence comes from a person's characteristics and their virtues and their actions. If you want to be a good person, you have to do good things, basically. It follows the key principles of courageousness, honesty, generosity, and wisdom, which focuses on not operating in extremes. So there's an extreme to generosity. You don't want to give everything away, but you don't want to not give it all. You don't want to be stingy. You don't want to be brutally honest, but you don't want to withhold important information. And as far as wisdom, we navigate through situations basically through street smarts. We learn things by experiencing them. And as we continue to participate in good virtues, they become habitual to us. So it becomes a habit for us to do well. A good example of virtue ethics is, I feel like, SpongeBob. SpongeBob does things because those are his characteristics. He's generally honest. He's always nice, always kind. He's very diligent and hardworking. And those characteristics are often portrayed or displayed throughout the show. And it's not because he's expecting a reward or something. It's just his character traits. I feel like virtue ethics contrasts to subjectivism because subjectivism focuses more so on the thought process behind actions or moral code. So in subjectivism, morality is subjective. It's not the actions that matter, it's the attitude. Whereas in virtue ethics, your attitude doesn't matter, it's your actions. So it's a direct, contradiction, I guess. I believe that religion plays a very big part in decision making when it comes to moral code or morality. The two theories that illustrate this idea are the natural law theory and the divine command theory. The divine command theory focuses on the teachings and religious works of God. It basically states that what's moral and immoral comes from a command. So in that instance, you have the example of the 10 Commandments in the Bible and other religious leaders and teachings that are giving you, the instructions for right and wrong. Whereas the natural law theory states that God has given us the instinct to do right. So it's in our human nature to do right. He provides like tools or essentials that we need to follow our instinct to do good. And good acts are in accordance with natural law. A good example of the natural law and the divine command theory are both in one of my favorite shows. It's called The Good Place. Basically, it's a bunch of individuals who are navigating the afterlife and navigating decision making in the afterlife. And it works on a good example of the divine command theory, and it shows that the point system they use. So if you're a good person, it said that you're supposed to have 1 million or more points. And if you're a bad person, you're supposed to have less than 1 million points. So the way it works with the divine command theory is that they'll follow those teachings in the Bible. They'll follow the 10 Commandments and stuff, of course. And they don't tell us in the show like how many points a good deed is or how many points a bad deed is. But they follow those teachings for the point system. As far as the natural law theory, there's a character on the show called Professor Cheedy, and he's teaching Ellen or Helen, I can't remember her name, a goodness class, and he often refers to the human instinct to make certain decisions, good or bad decisions in the show. He refers to the natural law theory a lot in the show, actually. He's a philosophy professor, so